The following is a special holiday presentation of ESPN on ABC.
We're back here behind the scenes of the Tournament of Roses Parade, and this is our new friend, Sully. Sully is on the Natural Balance Pet Foods, hot dogging it, going for the gold float. And last year, you remember Tillman the Bulldog, right?
Who could forget Tillman the Bulldog?
Tillman was skateboarding.
The skateboarding bulldog, a Guinness record holder, no less.
He has actually taken up a new sport. He is snowboarding. There
And
he
in
goes.
fact, the Guinness folks are here today, not to take a peek at Tillman, but this time to take a peek at this float itself. Today, the Guinness folks are going to let us know if it is, in fact, the longest float ever constructed.
Which is nothing compared to, you know, a snowboarding bulldog. Here from Guinness World Records is Danny Gurton Jr. Now, this is a new world record category. What is it officially?
This brand new record category is for the longest single chassis parade float.
Longest single chassis parade float. Here we go. Courtney, our volunteer, is going to stick the tape down. Let's roll. Here we go. Here's Josh.
At
I don't know.
long last. All right,
It took a
Danny,
while.
moment of truth. What do we got?
113 feet, 8 inches.
113.8.
That's a world record.
The longest single chassis float ever made.
We welcome them into the Guinness World Records family.
That float, as you might imagine, got more attention than anything in the week or so leading up to the parade. There were literally media from all over the world coming to film these snowboarding dogs.
How couldn't you? I mean, look, first of all, we mentioned Tillman was a Guinness World Record holder in his own right. That, of course, for the fastest skateboarding dog. If you do remember last year's parade, in fact, Tillman and company skateboarding around a rink, they decided to one-up themselves. How could you do it? Well, of course, send them down a snow mountain.
Letting the dogs out. Dick Van Patten's Natural Balance Pet Foods. This is hot dogging going for the gold, and this in honor of the Olympics to come in Vancouver next month, and there goes Tillman. Now, they insist that the dogs really enjoy this. Josh, they did have a little bit of a problem finding a surface for the dogs to skate down. This is polyurethane, and they put the dogs actually on wakeboards with ball bearings on the bottom, helping them slide down. And then what I think is hilarious are those little houses. That's actually a tram, that little dog house that you see moving in the background, and that tram takes them up to the top. These boards take quite a beating, not necessarily, you know, from the polyurethane, but from the teeth of the bulldog.
In speaking to the trainers, in fact, they say to get them to actually snowboard, they have to first let them chew on the board for a minute before they're willing to head down the hill.
They actually practiced on an exact replica of this. There goes Rose. She's the only gal in the group, and you can tell by the lovely rose-colored tattoo and her board.
And a year ago, of course, she was the puppy. She is now graduated to full-fledged snowboarder status, along with Tillman, Lyle, Nico, and Tank. Of course, maybe you saw me holding in the piece a couple minutes ago, this year's little puppy, named appropriately enough, Sully, after this year's Grand Marshal, Chesley Sullenberg.
We fell in love with Sully, and he will be performing next year. Actually, these folks already know what they have planned next year. We're not allowed to say, but suffice it to say that it will be spectacular. And this is the longest single chassis float in parade history, Josh. So this actually needs 3 separate steering systems. There are no less than 6 float operators. Oh, there's
Little
the baby.
Sully. Oh, he'll be back next year, folks. And of course, as you mentioned, the 3 articulating joints to get it around the corner of Orange Grove in Colorado. As we see it making a turn, we wonder, could it in fact be done? As we watch live on the edge of our seats.
6 separate operators, and the man who is steering, you see in that large dog house there in the middle, he's perched in there. And actually at the back, as we look at the back, those 2 pieces in the back dotted by trees actually separate. They can tail out.
And you can get lost in what's happening actually in the middle of this float from the beauty that really surrounds this float. As we see, he is in fact going to make it. As you can see, those pine trees, those are actually unsold Christmas trees, not going to waste. Instead, going on top of this float and dusted with coconut and orchid snow. It is a winter wonderland to be sure. As, hey, I'll give them the standing O from the booth. They made it.
They made the turn, and that is a 110-degree turn. No small feat. There's Rose. What a way to ring in the new year.
Oh, little lady.
Does it get any better, Josh, than snowboarding dogs? How do you top that? Well, with some amazing replicas of gorgeous architecture still to come on the Tournament of Roses Parade.
Live from Pasadena, California, brought to you in high definition, the National Broadcasting Company presents the 121st Tournament of Roses Parade.
121st annual coverage of our Rose Parade coverage here on NBC in high definition. And we've got...
This is Dick Van Patten's Natural Balance Pet Foods presents Tillman and Friends. And this year, Tillman has traded his skateboard for a snowboard and is hot dogging, going for the gold. From the beauty of the snow-capped alpine mountains to the cozy chalet, doesn't this make you want to join the Dick Van Patten family and the Slows? Look at them
Does
go.
everybody remember last year they were skateboarding around the track? Now they're snowboarding.
Dogs can do it all. I wonder how long they trained for this.
Oh, that's great.
Oh,
I don't know if he's sure-footed, but he is four-footed.
Let's pause and take a look.
Oh, yes.
We love our booth people for laughing at us, our crew. Bless them
And they
all.
are laughing
Happy
at
New
us,
Year,
not
you
with
guys.
us. Or as my daughter Courtney's favorite SpongeBob says, they're not laughing at us, Patrick. They're laughing next to us.
Perfect.
I love the theme to this. Who let the dogs out? And look at the animation on this. They've got a little booth that takes them back up to the top.
I wonder if our TV audience can hear the crowd reaction
There's
behind
Dick
us.
Van Patten.
There he is.
I'd like to see Dick snowboard.
You wouldn't have to do that the entire parade route. The crowd is
The
loving
crowd
these dogs.
loves this. Oh,
Too cute.
this is amazing.
Who gets the free ride in the doghouse going down
I know.
there? How many dogs they got in there, I wonder?
I think just two.
How many times are they going to ride?
Oh, that is funny. This is the longest single unit float in the history of the parade. Uh-oh, uh-oh. He's getting tired.
You jump off? Oh, no. They're like enough already.
Either that or they saw a fire hydrant on the side. They're going to take a little break, I think, right now. This thing had to have a custom chassis. It's amazing. Dual tram system, intricate hydraulics, billowing smoke from the chimney. Oh, yes!
I love the little tutu.
Oh.
He's bullying. He's bullying the
I get it.
the snowboard.
Yes.
Thank you for getting it.
Very nice.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Bulldogs. For those of you that didn't catch
Too bad
on.
the Georgia Bulldogs aren't playing this year. Oh.
What a morning for a parade. Welcome to HGTV's live commercial-free presentation of the Rose Parade 2010. Let's take a look at it. Here it is. It's called Hot Doggin', Going for the Gold. This is Dick Van Patten's Natural Balance Pet Foods. What a hoot. Jamie, what's the story?
Well, the incredible thing about this is it's the longest single chassis float in the history of this event, and it's 113 feet 10 inches long. A Guinness Book of World Records, guys. But what's even more amazing, I think, are these bulldogs that are snowboarding. Look at them go.
Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh.
Now these,
oh, here goes another one.
Now these dogs have been training.
Wait, a pink tutu.
Yeah.
They've been training since last September to do this, and you know, you can't believe the precision.
Oh,
look at this.
Isn't that amazing?
I'm a little miffed because they snowboard better than I do. Okay, I'm just gonna put that out there right now.
Oh man, these guys are amazing. Now they
Look, he can't wait. Look at him.
Okay,
Look, he's like, he can't wait to get on there.
Yeah, he's like, it's my turn, my turn, my turn.
Look at him go.
Look at he corrected.
He did.
He corrected halfway down.
I told you he's better than I was.
They're just fearless, these guys now. Now, all that snow is decorated with shaved coconut, would you believe?
Oh, that's great.
Isn't that incredible? Look at all the dendrobiums around the outside, the orchids there.
And the real trees?
Yes, yeah, you've got pines all around the outside, which is beautiful.
Jamie, they've got those little dog houses that go up in the back.
But you would know about dog houses.
Well, thank you. I'm probably in one right now.
Yeah. Look at that.
And here's the thing. We saw some of these guys last year, and they were skateboarding. They love this. They cannot wait to get out there, as you saw. And I don't know if that was Tillman or Rose or Lyle, because that's their names.
Rose is wearing the pink tutu.
Well, yes. In fact, Rose might be the puppy from last year. She's named after, of course, the Rose Parade.
And you know, something I really liked about a lot of these events, which I learned about, was all these floats. Look at these guys.
Okay, I could watch this all day. I am so sorry, Jamie.
No, but all these floats get recycled, which I thought was a really clever thing, you know?
Jamie,
now look where he's going to make this turn.
Well, I want to see if this thing can make the... Tim Estes, who is in charge of this float, built this
Way
float,
to go,
designed
Tim.
it. See the little, now around the edges of the float there, you'll see all that green foliage.
Right.
They are old Christmas trees, and I thought that was a really good way to recycle Christmas tree foliage. And that's what a lot of the floats have embedded their flowers into.
This is tight, Jamie.
I know.
Even though this thing is articulated, it'll bend. This is tight.
Well, it's 113 feet 10 inches, don't forget. A world record, Guinness record. Look at that.
Well, if he knocks over the camera stand, we're in big trouble.
Yeah.
Do not overtake.
No, we'll be down to Chelan for the rest of the parade and the Goodyear blimp. Look at that. Okay, that's impressive.
Okay.
I want to hug those dogs.
They made it.
I do too. I would take them home.
And to celebrate the fact they made it.
From Pasadena, California, this is the 121st Tournament of Roses.
Now, Travel Channel presents a special presentation of the 2010 Tournament of Roses Parade from Pasadena, California.
The 121st Tournament of Roses Parade, presented by Hallmark Channel.
But it's sunny and bright and beautiful in Pasadena. The high today is going to be 72 degrees, and in a moment, they're having trouble because they are such a large float, but it's going to be worth the
There
wait,
he goes.
you guys.
They're not having
there
trouble
he
now.
is.
They're not having trouble now.
That little puppy's name is Sully, by the way, named after our Grand Marshal. And remember last year? Remember Tillman's skateboarding dog? He's brought some friends, and they're going to go
Here comes
snowboarding.
somebody. I think that's Rose. I'm not sure. Isn't it adorable? Adorable.
And when they get done, they get back in that little house there, that little tram, and it takes them back up to the top, and they do it all over again.
Did you say this is Dick Van Patten's Natural Balance
did
Pet
not,
Foods
but
float?
go ahead and say it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
There he is. Look at
Hot Dog and Going for the Gold is the name of the float, and it is the world's longest single unit float at 111 feet in length. We met Tillman.
Yes,
I
we
think
did.
that is he. Oops.
I think, yeah. Hey, Tillman, get back on.
Try
You're
one
gonna
more
fool
time.
yourself
That's
there.
all right, Tillman. We met him the other day.
He was out
and
drinking last
he
night.
was so busy looking for his skateboard that he would hardly stay still to greet and meet us.
He's had Botox
loves-
since last year, I think.
No. He loves doing this. And then you see the little house that he gets into,
Yep.
and it takes him back up to his departure point.
There's 5 of the little bulldogs. Here he goes.
Okay.
Oh, that must be
That's Rose.
Yes, Rose.
Rose. They love it.
Oh, isn't that fun? There's
Sorry.
Dick Van Patten and his son.
Just adorable.
Dick Van Patten, Jimmy Van Patten. Oh, that is so much fun. And what I just, like you said, Steph, they get in that little house right there, and that takes them back up to the top. And
May
then they
I
come
say
again.
also that Fiesta designed this float. It is covered wonderfully with marvelous natural goods, but we're not paying proper attention to it.
I mean, who cares what it's covered with? I want to see that dog go on that snowboard.
Oh.
And they did get a special permit not to cover the track with flowers or seeds.
Tillman is the fastest skateboarding dog in the world and has won awards as well. He should have. Well,
Thank you,
hate to
Dick
say
Van
goodbye,
Patten.
and that's a gorgeous float.
And we need to mention Natural Balance Pet Foods too, because they are the sponsors. And thank you
Marvelous.
for bringing us that wonderful float.
RFG TV and the 2010 Pasadena Tournament of Roses presents A Cut Above the Rest.
This is one of the most unusual floats, Dick Van Patten's Natural Balance Pet Foods, and they are hot dogging, going for the gold. It's featuring Tillman and Friends. These are the snowboarding bulldogs. And they're also, you need to know this, they are going for the Guinness World Record for the longest single chassis on this float. And we could never get the straight story. It's either 111 feet, 112, or I also heard 115.
Oh, they love Tillman snowboarding. Tillman's the one that was doing all the skateboarding at the hotel where we were last year. And by the way, I think there's a puppy on board named after Sully, our Grand Marshal.
Yes.
We get to sit here and watch these dogs all day. They love this.
Well, now, last year's puppy, Rose, is going to come down. I think that's her.
That's Rose, yeah.
On the pink board. She's all grown up now.
It's on board there. This, and Lorianne mentioned I guess the longest float entry was 111, 112 feet, somewhere along there.
Something like that. We don't have the exact measurement.
They have, just so you know, this is a big turn for these folks because there are 3 separate steering systems and 6 float operators underneath to make this thing work and make that turn. It's amazing
but it's all
to
one
watch
piece.
this.
Even though it's separate steering units, it's one big piece, which is why it's so amazing. Look at that.
Well, so I love this.
Woo, there he goes. They're coming down about 16 feet there.
Oh my goodness.
I think makes you want to join them, doesn't it?
The only thing missing on this float's a fire hydrant.
Oh, look at her little tutu.
But anytime you hear the crowd roaring in the background as the float goes out to there, you'll know it's Tillman and his gang up there doing a little bit of snowboarding behind Dick Van Patten. Of course, we know him as star of Hazel.
That is just adorable. Dick Van Patten, such an illustrious history as an actor in television and Broadway plays and on radio shows and movies. He really enjoys this day.
Thank you, Dick Van Patten, for I think what's going to be one of the most talked about floats that you'll ever see.
There's the baby, the puppy, Sully.
Yeah. Okay.
Appropriately named.
Univisión presenta el desfile de las Rosas 2010.
No lo está viviéndolo.
Ahorita los van a ver por ahí deslizarse sobre esta carroza.
Sí, es increíble lo que estamos viendo aquí. También estamos viendo el bulldog grande que tampoco está, es un perro de verdad, ¿verdad?
Y obviamente,
está hecho con
pues míralos, ahí vienen cayendo.
Exactamente.
Y justamente están celebrando pues las Olimpiadas de Invierno que se avecinan ya. Y hablando de deportes, espérense que ahí viene el Mundial de Fútbol 2010 en alta definición. Miren, este es el tipo
de...
de...
Tú ves el perrito que está en la parte de al frente. Ese perrito le pusieron Zully en honor al gran mariscal,
claro,
que está hoy aquí, obviamente. Es una carroza espectacular, la animación es súper increíble, es la más larga de la historia de la Parada de las Rosas.
Nos estaba explicando el técnico ayer que es tan larga que tiene 3 puntos de flexión.
Y
tienen a los perritos haciendo su digna bajada, claro, en esas tablas de surf. Míralo nomás, qué maravilla. Y están felices. Si ustedes conocieran esos perros, son lo más consentido que yo he visto. Míralos, ahí va.
Ahí estamos viendo. Yo creo que esa es mujer, Carlos.
Claro, eso espero.
Se llama Pink, creo que es lo que...
Mírenlo, qué maravilla. De verdad lo disfrutan tanto estos perritos. Ayer estaban siendo los más consentidos en todas las bodegas que visitamos. Y bueno, una de las obras también de Raúl Rodríguez. Me imagino que no les acercó a su cotorra a los perritos.
No.
Estuviera devorado todo. Pero miren miren la dignidad de los perros.
Se reveló, él no quiso.
Mira,
wow, increíble, de verdad.
Yo
creo que ha sido una de las carrozas que más ha impactado a la gente cada vez que la gente grita de verdad, se emociona de verdad al ver a estos perritos.
Qué chistosos, qué personalidad. Y tienen, aunque no lo crean, tienen un camión para ellos solitos con las fotos de los perros por afuera.
Ajá, claro. Oye, los tratan mejor que a nosotros, ¿verdad?
Oye, son unos rockstars estos perritos. Y bueno, ¿cómo no? Yo no puedo hacer eso. ¿Tú sí, Ale? Yo si me trepo ahí me mato. Pero mira qué berrinche traen todos con esto.
Ella tomó el control. Ese es Pink.
Oye, pero mira, las mujeres lo hacen mejor que los hombres, ¿te das cuenta?
Eso siempre ha sido así, Carlos.
Eso es el más digno, el de la cabecita blanca. ¡Qué joya! No, la verdad está buenísimo. Y si ustedes ven del otro lado, por ahí van subiendo los perritos y los están premiando, obviamente.
Esos son lo que yo te comentaba ahorita, los elevadores.
Exacto. Que muy hermoso este esfuerzo.
Sí. De verdad
bueno,
que sí.
pues ahí lo tienen.
Un digno ejemplo de lo mejor de este desfile de las rosas.
Exacto, bien dicho. Esto sí que es lo mejor de lo mejor, por lo menos en el mundo canino. No creo que haya perros que hagan esto.
Mi perro no lo hace, eso sí te puedo asegurar.
Muy seguro, muy seguro.
De verdad que sí, ahí los estamos viendo, la gente aplaudiendo, la gente, te digo que las está recibiendo increíble, ha causado un efecto muy impresionante.